All right, around the 18th of this month, January last month, when I was out cutting wood and out about my daily business, I noticed I started to see things out of the corner of my eye, and I could not understand what I was seeing. Now, while I was seeing these things, a lot of you have had this happen before. A lot of you Christians, you'll get something out of the corner of your eye and you'll go to look and it's disappeared and you don't know what it is, but later it screws up, it makes a mistake, and then you get to see it. Sometimes you might see a demon around a corner or some kind of creature or something. But I noticed on the ground around corners and shrubs, I saw stuff trying to get out of away from me and hide. And I kept saying, you know, something strange is going on. Well, what happened was God started to let me see, I started to see scorpions. Now, these scorpions were about 4 feet from tail to their eyes, and then, of course, their pinchers would make them about 6 feet with their pinchers, or you can just say they were 4 feet with their tail curled up. And I'm asking God, what are these? And he kept saying, just look and pay attention. So out in the fields and on the road and in the parking lot and in the shopping center, in the spirit realm, I am starting to see scorpions. I'm starting to see 3 scorpions here, 5 scorpions there, 10 scorpions here, 20 or 30 over there. And all of a sudden, the next thing you know, I am seeing scorpions everywhere. And I'm starting to see them pop up everywhere. And I'm saying, God, what's with the scorpions? Why are you letting me see these scorpions? So here's what he said. He said, go to 2 Chronicles, go to chapter 10, verse 18. Go to verse 18. So I did. And I'll just read the last part of it. Now, what went on here is Rehoboam came out of Egypt, take over Israel after Solomon died, and all of Israel came to Rehoboam and said, remove the yoke off of us that your father has put on us and lighten the load for us. And Rehoboam said, all right, here's what I'll do. Let me think about it for 3 days, and then after I think about it, I'll see what I can do for you. But in the meanwhile, y'all go on about your business, and I'll think about this matter. So he went to all the elders of Israel, and, and Rehoboam asked the elders, he says, fellas, what do you think I should do about this situation? And the elders said, if you treat them nice and treat them kindly, they'll be your servants forever. And he took their consideration. He said, all right. And then he goes to all the men, the old high school buddies and everybody that he grew up with. And he asked them, well, what do you think I should do about this request? And they said, chastise them with scorpions. Our fathers chastised them with whips, but tell them you're going to chastise them with scorpions. So the Lord gave me the scripture right after letting me see the scorpions and what's coming to America. Now I'll get into more of this. Wait a minute. Whatever my father loaded you with a heavy yoke, I will add to your yoke. My father disciplined you with whips, but I'm going to discipline you with scorpions. And I asked God, I said, God, what are you saying here when you say you're going to discipline them with scorpions? He said, the taskmasters of the Chinese and the Russians are going to be chastisement with scorpions. In other words, he's saying, these taskmasters that are coming to America once the nation is sacked are going to rule you with the stings of scorpion, and they're going to be brutal and they're going to be vicious. Now also, a lot of these scorpions are going to start stinging the non-believers, and they're not going to know why. Now in the book of Jeremiah chapter 15, which I'm going to get to in a minute, talks about this when God says, I'm over you, Israel, I'm over it. And this is what I'm going to do. When God started showing me the scorpions, He said, I'm going to chastise America with scorpions. And it's going to be extremely painful. So this is also coming. A lot of you are starting to feel stings of scorpions. And this is because your spiritual life is not pleasing to God. On the January the 29th, which would have been last Thursday or Friday, right here where I'm at right now, where you see me sitting, a travail came over me, the same travail that came over me 2 years before the World Trade Centers got attacked. And God had been speaking to me and said to me 2 years before the World Trade Centers got hit that America was going to come under a powerful attack, and to pray. And I prayed and I told people to pray, and I went into travail and I cried and I cried and I cried and I couldn't understand what was going on. In that period of time that I did that, it lifted. And then 2 years later, I was working in Newport News when the announcement came that the World Trade Centers had been attacked. All right, the same travail came over me here in this garage last Friday. And the pain and the crying and the wailing was so intense and lasted for almost 6 hours, and I'm by myself, that when it was over, I thought I was going to have to go to the hospital because I thought for sure I was going to have a major heart attack of the severity of the travail. Now, this travail was not, those of you who travail in intercession, you'll know what I'm talking about, but this was pain, heart pain beyond imagination. And I cried, and I cried, and I wailed, and I begged God for mercy. And this is what He showed me. That Red China is getting ready and preparing to invade the West Coast. And when the Chinese come, now remember, God has purposed this in their hearts to do this. Here very soon, and I feel it's going to be real soon, that the Communist Red Chinese are going to invade the West Coast. They're going to take the West Coast hands down. America is going to be caught completely off guard from Seattle, Washington, all the way down to Baja, California. And I started praying, and I'm saying, God, how are they going to do this? I mean, they just can't walk in. He said, yeah, they are. He said, they're going to walk right in. The whole nation's going to be caught off guard. And the way they're going to do it, it's going to be beyond imagination. Now, I was talking to Sarah, my scribe, my webmaster, about this. Now, what God was showing me is that when China comes, they are not going to have any mercy on the men, women, or children. And this is where the travail is, the ungodly army that's coming. It'll be about 25 Red Chinese soldier to every one American. They shall be coming like locusts or like the African harvester ant. They're going to come by the millions upon the millions upon millions are going to swarm. They have been given the orders to kill every man, woman, and child to save engineers, to save certain things, and to take and keep certain things. Certain educated people are going to keep, certain military officials are going to try to get, and I'm going to explain to you very soon, or I'll explain to you on this next one. This will be one of two. All right, the next one's going to be one of three. So I'm going to explain to you how God was showing me how they're going to invade.